All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So this is, in fact, the front camera on the Samsung Galaxy A70. Now, looking at the viewfinder here, the A70 is a 32 megapixel front camera, and it also has a 32 megapixel rear camera at f1.7 aperture. But the front is 2.0, and the front is a wide-angle lens as well. I'm actually sitting pretty close to the device, and look at all this in view. It's incredible. This is one of the reasons that I say, I have to compare this to the Pixel 3a XL. I think this is a direct competitor to the Pixel 3a XL, and this phone actually does a little bit more than the Pixel 3a XL, and definitely going to compare these two more in a detailed video. But with this video, I'm focusing on the front camera. Just doing a vlog real fast. It's really, really good. I'm also going to do the rear camera, and I focus on cameras a lot. What's surprising to me is a lot of people say, oh, people don't really focus on cameras. I find that hard to believe because this is a social media age, folks. This is all people do is get on social media. So oftentimes you'll find a phone like this that comes along and slaps everybody in the face. The Pixel 3a XL and the Pixel 3a, the 3a line just pretty much slapped everybody in the face and said, hey, you don't have to have this high price tag and have powerful cameras and then have powerful battery. You get a headphone jack, all these things. These are all the things that this phone does. However, this phone has an in-screen fingerprint reader, not as stable as the fingerprint reader on the Pixel 3a XL, but the facial recognition is very fast on this phone. But this camera quality is great to me. I'm surprised that this phone actually costs less than the 3a. It costs $348. The Pixel 3a costs $399, and the 3a XL costs $480. So I always say that, I'm looking for phones to beat up other phones eventually. You can't stay at the top forever. And I want this to happen. I want things to get taken down. I want things to get better because that means I profit, I benefit from it. So the phone is fantastic so far in my testing. This is unreal quality that I'm getting from this device. It's just crazy. The wide-angle lens on the rear shoots very well. And the front camera here, you don't have to do much. There's no setting for a wide angle. It's automatically just records in this wide angle. And it's fantastic. It only does 1080p on the front at 30 frames per second. But the rear does 1080p 30 wide angle, 1080p 30 regular, 1080p 60 regular, and then 4K in a regular 30. So let's take an extended look at the rear cameras, or just take a quick look at the rear cameras. This is the front camera. This is the opening for the video. This is what this phone is about, man. Big battery, big screen, big cameras, big camera quality. What do you guys think about this footage? For kicks, I'm going to go ahead and throw in the Pixel 3a footage probably in this video. So you'll get a snippet of that. And just so you can compare them for sure, because I want you to see this for yourself. But anyway, here's the front camera. Let's switch over to the rear. So here is the rear camera at 1080p at 60 frames per second. Fantastic quality. I know this quality is good because these cameras are good, man. I mean, I don't prefer 3 and 4 cameras on a device, but if it has it and it's utilizing it the right way, then I'm all for it. So this is 1080p at 60 frames per second for the rear camera. Now I'm going to switch over to 30 frames per second. And 30 frames per second, you can't do wide angle on 60 frames per second or 4K. I think I said that already. If I didn't, you can't. You have to be in 30 frames per second 1080p in order to do wide angle. So let's switch over to 1080p, and I'm going to give you a quick shot of that regular and that wide angle. Now here is 30 frames per second, 1080p, just a real brief clip. I switched back to 30 frames per second because this is the only way we can grab that wide angle. So now I'm going to switch to that wide angle shot and get ready to be blown away, folks. One other thing I want to point out, if you're shooting in 1080p at 60 frames per second, you can't do the steady shot. The super steady shot, that's available in 30 frames per second, 1080p, and I'll try 4K as well, but you can't do it at 60 frames per second. So let's switch over to that wide angle shot and get ready to get your mind blown. Huh? You see all this? It's crazy, right? For $348, this is a direct competitor, not just with the Pixel 3a XL and the 3a. It's a direct competitor to a ton of other phones out there. The Pixel 3a XL and the Pixel 3a, they compete with quote-unquote flagships and blow them away in a lot of areas, in my opinion. But this phone right here is it's gut punching my 3A XL, man, for real, for real. So, I mean, what do you think about the quality? Come on, let's be real about it. Now, let me switch to 4K real quick, and we'll get you a sample up here and all. Because I'm doing it up here because someone wanted to see what it would look like in this setting. So, they might want to shoot and use this phone in this setting for whatever reason. I don't know. But this is a setting that I actually do use. So let's switch to that 4K for one last piece of footage. And then I'm going to show you how it beats up on the Pixel 3 XL just a little bit. So Steady Shot is available. It's available for all the modes except for 60 frames per second shooting. And that's just going to give you a stable shot. Now, I'm not moving right now, but Steady Shot, obviously, it's called Super Steady Shot, as a matter of fact. So that's if you're going to be walking around vlogging or something like that, and you're going to need, some really stable footage for the phone, for the rear camera. So this is 4K right here, folks. Again, it's like that sometimes, man. I'm using this phone to replace I'm not getting rid of my G8, but I'm using this phone as a daily driver now to put the G8 down for a while. This was supposed to be the Xperia 1, but the Xperia 1 is kicked to the curb right now. This phone is showing out, and it showed up and it showed out. I wasn't expecting this type of quality from this. I can't. My mind's blown right now. Head sprung. It's crazy. So I'm gonna close out the video real fast, switch back to 1080p, and now we're gonna get this thing going. All right, guys, so here's the front-facing camera on both of the phones. This is the Pixel 3a XL, and this is the Galaxy A70. And you just tell me what you think about the quality from this, and then I'll switch over to the rear. All right, so I'm kind of just holding them here. I don't have wide angle turned on for the Galaxy A7 because the Pixel doesn't have wide angle. So I'm just holding them at arm's length. So whatever the distance is that you see on each camera, I obviously see what once I get it on the computer. Yeah, we'll see how the quality looks, you know what I'm saying? And, we'll see what you guys think about this device next to the Pixel 3a XL. What do you think? All right, so I switched the display to full. You can do 1:1 and 16:9, and I switched it to full. So pretty much on my side, when I look through the viewfinder, the entire display is filled with camera, and it's pretty boss. I gotta look over here. I gotta remember to look over here. All right, so yeah, this phone is, and I have to I titled that original video "Punching Way Above Its Weight Class" because that's in fact what it is doing. It is definitely competing and just pushing through phones, man. And I've been kind of, getting my sample on throughout the devices, and it's not just because it's a new device. I mean, ultimately what you should be aiming for when you're getting these phones is to spend the least amount of money and get the best quality. That's what you should be aiming for. That's what I'm aiming for. And this phone comes in at about, 150 less than my Pixel 3a XL. It's working it over to me. So I don't know, man. I really feel like this is a heavy contender. This is just beast mode of a camera. And again, we're in a social media age. We're in a YouTube age. We're in what's it called? Twitch, Stitch, all these streaming services where people are filming themselves. People are vlogging all the time, walking down the street. It's everywhere. And having this kind of power in your pocket, must, folks, a must. I mean, you should be going as low on the price. Just try to get the lowest price device at the best quality. Now, some of you guys are going to say, well, Jay, I can go get a Galaxy S8. I can go get this. I can go get that. That's perfectly fine. Do your thing. But I like this 6.7-inch display with a 4,500 milliamp hour battery with Android Pie, in-screen fingerprint reader. I'm rolling with this right now. This is something that's can easily replace my G8. I put it down, you know what I'm saying? I literally, my SIM card hasn't been in it since I had this phone. And I'm going to leave it that way. And I'll report to you also if I have problems. That's what it's about. I'm not just going to report good things. I'm sure there'll be something about this phone that I do not like. The G8 and the Pixel, those are phones that I didn't find very much that I didn't like about them. So, I'm really hoping that I don't find a lot of flaws in this phone, but I in fact do get a way more positive run and make this a permanent daily driver for me. So the LTE is working fine. It has Wi-Fi calling for T-Mobile. Some people have asked about this. It has Wi-Fi calling for T-Mobile. I didn't test it on Cricket or any of those other ones yet, but I'm pretty sure if they offer Wi-Fi calling, this phone should offer it. But I definitely get Wi-Fi calling with T-Mobile, and it's flowing right along, man. The Dolby Atmos, it's a banging device so far. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. Video footage from this thing, ridiculous. What do you think about it compared next to the Pixel? Keep it real. It's your man Jay. I'm out.